Howdy, y'all, and welcome to Volume 10 of the Songwriter Sessions here at Wilson Valley Mercantile. Today we're joined by Eley Buck Davis, our host, Muchacho Sanchez, and Andrew Blanton. Enjoy the interviews, y'all. All right, Eley, Muchacho, thank y'all for being here today. And just jump into some questions here, Muchacho. Tell us about your background. You got a story that's as long as a Texas back road and focuses on a gypsy spirit. Anyways, tell us about that background and how you got started and what your inspiration is.
Well, that's a multifaceted. So like where I come from, I'm one of those California transplants. I come from this place called Downey, California. Have you heard of Downey? We're not known for much except music. Like the Carpenters are from there, and the Blasters are from there. And so I started off there. I went to school there, and it was really inspiring. We had our own theater there in Downey. And so a lot of people would come by, a lot of big musicians would come by. So it was always like I think that was the influence at first, was where I grew up. It was just all music, all art. And my dad was an avid music fan too. So where else did I get my start? But I traveled a lot. My dad's from El Paso, so I spent a lot of time in El Paso. I spent a lot of time in Mexico, and any chance my family could, they would put a mic in my hand and get me singing since I was like 4 or 5. That's kind of where I got my start. Little ranches.
Lots of encouragement there.
So much encouragement. And there he is.
Hey, Andrew, welcome in.
Well, howdy, partners.
How you doing?
Life is good, man. Sorry it took me a minute to download this app.
No worries.
Well, thanks for having us, man.
Howdy, Andrew.
Absolutely. Anyways, give us some background on your story and how you got started in music and what your inspirations are.
Yeah, definitely. I started pretty young playing piano when I was in elementary school, but that was very short-lived. Back then, I was just all wanting to be outside on my skates. Over time, I kind of just found out that I was obsessed with music, just wanting to listen to it all the time and, really being able to pick out the different instruments in the songs. Over time, I was listening to so much Grateful Dead that I just decided I had to get a guitar, And so that was when I was 18, graduating high school. And ever since then, I've been just trying to learn every type of music I can. I kind of started out with blues and Johnny Cash and then morphed over to singer-songwriter, country music over the last decade. And been out here in Austin just doing our thing,
Yeah. How long has
John,
y'all been working together?
A couple years now, I think.
What's that, Ely?
What's up? Did
What were you
Eley
gonna say,
say
Eley?
something?
I'm sorry, things were kind of glitching up a little bit. I was going to say, when Andrew mentioned about his skating, he's not just saying like he skates a little bit. Like if you've watched videos, he's really good. Like he's going down ramps. I don't know if he's done backflips yet, but he's gotten pretty close to it. Like he's actually doing tricks and things. So he's not just skating around. Which reminds me, I think when you do a music video, you should do that sometime if you haven't already.
Some skating on it.
Like with
Maybe
We're trying to become more popular.
with the cowboy hat, like kind of giddy up. I think it'd be cool.
Not a bad idea.
Some of that.
There's a
B-roll.
skateboarder that's out there doing stuff in like a ranchero outfit.
Oh, really?
See, we need some B-roll of that to go with the still sessions.
I know, the still sessions.
Be a
I
steel
saw
rail.
That'd work out good.
When I was a kid, there was this movie that came out called Airborne in the 90s. It had like Jack Black and all these people in it, Seth Green and stuff. And it was about this kid that was, beefing with the bad kids. And then at the end of the movie, they have to do a rollerblade race down this giant hill in town. And the last scene is like them all skating down this big hill for like half an hour. And anyway, I saw that. And when I got home from the movie theater, that was it. We were skating. So
Nice.
All right, guys. I'll throw a question out there for y'all to y'all can argue or take with or both answer however you want to. But my experience, both y'all's sound is very unique and curated. Maybe is a good word to use to describe it, and individually and together. So what influenced y'all to A, have your own unique sound, and then B, to come together for your duo?
You want to take it, Andrew? Me?
kick this one off.
Hoist. All right.
Kick it off.
For me, I grew up singing a lot of songs in Spanish, a lot of old rancheras, which is like Spanish, Mexican, like country folk. So that was really where I got my start. And so when we converged with Andrew together to do the duo, we were jamming with a friend named Josh Halverson. I don't know if y'all have heard of him, but he's a really good singer-songwriter. But yeah, it was just acoustics around around a campfire pretty much. So that's really what got the sound going, is my background in Spanish style, and Andrew's just an amazing picker, and so it kind of clicked right away as far as at least for me. And I think Andrew is obviously in Texas. He can't go a few miles without hearing some of that Spanish kind of nylon guitar picking. And I guess Andrew really, like, growing up, really loved that sound, and so it kind of just it clicked from there. I think from the Spanish thing I have and the Spanish thing he has from where he grew up.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
it's
a good
almost kind of
match.
perfect. Like, it's like the kind of band I've always wanted to be in, really, because my biggest influences are Spanish music and then Willie Nelson and old school country like Ernest Tubb. And then also Robert and I are big into the blues. So like having all that come together where we've actually spent time playing in all these genres, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the fact that we can put them all together.
I think that's why it comes off. I think that's why it comes off so authentic too, because you're not just trying to sound like that, but you've actually played in all those genres. So when you bring them together, it comes together like a puzzle. It's not just like it's forced, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, like we're genuinely influenced by all the genres we play. So, you know, we're playing like the version of like, hey, it took us 15 years to get to this version of this blues song. You know what I mean? Like just to get the skill up to play these songs, it takes so long. You know, that's why you see those old guys that are just like amazing because they've got 30, 40 years on a certain genre.
Yeah, I think that's where we're at too. Is like,
Unfortunately, there's a lot of people in that scene, I guess, that they put on the retro clothes and the retro cowboy hat, and they throw a pedal steel in there, and they think that they're getting away with it. And it's like, I can see right through that. But with y'all, it's like, no, these guys have been at it for a minute, you know. And I know Muchacho also has a background. Didn't you also play like in a punk band and do a different style of singing
yeah, I did soul like for the
at
longest
one
time in
point?
my early 20s. In my early 20s, I just wanted to be like James Brown, Otis Redding, and so
Oh,
put
yeah.
on kind of like a James Brown kind of voice and learn to scream and all that stuff. That was a lot of fun. You know, it was an uphill battle for me, you know, because it was almost like I was like, okay, how could I sound like these guys? And it just was like trying my best to, you know, sound like Otis Redding. And yeah, it was a lot of fun learning to be a front man, trying to, yeah, all I wanted to be was a soul singer from the 60s. In my 20s, that was just like my bag. I wanted to be Ray Charles. I wanted to be Otis Redding. I wanted to be all those cats for like, yeah, all my 20s.
I kind of want to hear you do that just once.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like I practiced so much falsetto. Like, yeah, I just wanted to be Sam Cooke, like all those cats. And then just getting older and having kids, and actually it was my father-in-law. One time I sang a song in Spanish, and it was more in my range. And you know, they're really like kind of like baritone type, almost like operatic singing. That's how I came up when I was a kid singing, like from the time I was 5 till I was a teen. And my father-in-law, you know, God rest his soul, he was like, why don't you sound like a man? You know, I was like, what are you talking about? And then I sang a song in Spanish. I'm like, I got it in there. And he's like, you should be doing this all along. Like, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you doing country? Why aren't you doing Spanish music? Like, this is what you should be doing, not that other stuff. And it like hurt at first. But then, you know, with that and the pandemic, like there were no more band things. So I just had to pick up a guitar and just start picking and singing for myself. And then, so that's where the whole muchacho thing, you know, came about. Thanks to the pandemic, I couldn't front as a, you know, soul singer anymore. You know, I just had to pick and grin the way it came out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it worked out for the best because I feel like you found yourself in your art. Just my
Yeah,
opinion.
100%. Yeah, it takes a long time. You know, a lot of
So,
people don't talk about that, you know, that it takes like everything. Cause at first, like you do it just cause it comes out of you. And then you see that people like it. So then you try to do what people like. And then all the way back around like 20, 25 years later, you kind of are just whatever you are and have to do it, you know? So at this point, I'm just doing it because, you know, I can't do
Yeah.
anything else. It's been too long trying to do the thing. I'm just gonna do it the way it comes out, you know?
hey, that's probably not a terrible place to be because that way it's authentic, and then that's you can't fake authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I was kind of saying earlier is that, you know, people will say, oh, you guys played a good blues song or a good country song. And it's like, man, we've been trying 20 years to learn to get to this point, you know,
Yeah.
on these country songs, blues songs. And that's what's cool about being from Austin, man, is like you have to be, you know, you have to pressure yourself to go further, because the people in Austin are like, they deserve trophies. You know what I mean? So just to kind of be in this town and try to learn these different genres. I mean, we're competing with people that are at the best in the world right now, that are playing through Austin. So it's definitely been a lot to get to this point. And that's what's so rewarding, as even though we're getting over the hill, that we're actually good at playing this music now, right?
Experienced.
Yeah.
Wise and learned, one might say.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of experience, y'all each pick one of your songs, one of your originals, and tell us about it and where the inspiration came from for it and what it's about.
You can take that one first, Andrew, if you want.
Muchacho? Okay. So my highest streaming song on Spotify is I've Been Dancing and Moving with Every Single Step. And that's the song that's like my testimony. I kind of had a rough go at it for a couple of years with the bottle and all those things. And so we just kind of thank God every day for our opportunities to be playing and for saving us. So that's kind of my most personal song that I like to do every show.
Let's see mine.
All right.
Can we do it? Can we talk about any song or like a song we have out on Spotify?
Any floor's open, whatever you want to do, man.
All right, cool. I have this song called When I Get This Way, which is the title track of my album that I'm about to release here soon. Perpetually about to release it. It gets like that when you're a musician. Like, I'm going to release it.
Soon's a relative term.
Yeah. But like, so that one, it's got like all my influences in it too, like old kind of 60s rock, country, soul. And, but what it's about is like, my brain, I have anxiety. So my brain kind of tells me, the chorus goes, oh, these blues I cannot shake. I try and try, but they just take and take. Even though I know my mind is telling lies, when I get this way, I feel like I could die. And like, I kind of feel like that a lot. I don't know if it's because I'm still trying to figure out why it happens. Sometimes maybe it must just be because of the internet and the crazy world. But like, there'll be even times where like, I'll go to a movie theater and I have to check the exits. I have to look people in the eye to make sure I'm safe, and it's like, and it's grown ever since I was ever since I became a father. So the song's kind of about that, about like, it doesn't like, I know my mind's telling me these things, but either way, I still feel it, even though I know it's a lie kind of thing, and it's kind of heavy and kind of deep.
I got you.
But I always try to poke fun at it, cause I was raised from like a generation past. My dad was like a man's man, and you kind of just like keep that stuff to yourself. And so like, I'm kind of like in this in between where you like talk about your feelings all the time, but also you should keep it to yourself. So I feel like this song is like a perfect kind of like way to describe it for someone in the in between like myself,
I got you. I like that.
And yeah, so that's what that song's about.
And are we going to hear that one next Thursday?
Oh yeah, I play it every time. It's one of my favorite ones. Yeah, it's kind of got a funky chord progression too, and yeah, I like playing a lot. Andrew really does a great job on it. He's been trying to play like the record, and I have to like remind him like every time before we play it. I'm like, just play it, just blues it up, just play it like you play it, bro. Like, it's so good the way he plays it,
I get mixed messages about whether I'm supposed to play it like the record or not.
Well, I think I did.
But I like both versions of it.
You,
the record has it cool.
I know I did request it one time for you to try to play it like the record, but then I think when you started playing it like the record, I'm like, dang, I kind of miss the way he used to do it. Like, like I think you just play it the way you play it, like whatever. People can listen to the record if they want to hear the record,
Yeah, it's cool because the record has different players on it, so I learn a lot from the melodies that they put on there, and it kind of gives us like two different options to go with the song, because I come from more of a blues kind of background, and then I can follow their country licks too.
Okay. I'm going to throw a shameless plug out there for the Valley Still sessions that y'all participated in. Tell our listeners about how it was doing that, and just about the experience and the songs you did too. If
yeah, I did. I think we played Again. It's a song I wrote about my wife after.
Again was one of them.
Last year, and I think When I Get This Way was another one, actually, the one I just talked about. But Again, yeah, I wrote that one for my wife after it was exactly a year ago, Andrew, that we were on the road. We were on the road for 8 days, And we got back to Texas. Andrew kissed the ground like he was the Pope. And I wrote that song for my wife. Because I missed her so much. And it wasn't that long after that we did the still session, actually, after I wrote it. And I was just so excited. And we had just done the road. So I wanted to do that one. And it was great. It was great being there. And we were the last ones, I think, to do it. So we saw a bunch of good people. I think we saw Memphis Key do his session, and it was a lot of fun. It was really cool. You got pizza there for us, and that still is a great backdrop for anything, for pictures, for video. It's just is a cool scene. I had a lot of fun.
It's a very expensive backdrop.
It's true.
Well,
And Wes was there
it's
playing
a very,
too.
very expensive facility for doing anything in.
Yeah.
So if John's already asked something like this, just let me know. But are y'all going to perform anything new this Thursday or next Thursday, rather? Y'all got a new one you want to showcase?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I always
got a couple new ones up our sleeve since the last time we were out there.
A lot of new ones. I have a few. Yeah, my dad passed away a couple months ago, so I've been kind of writing a lot about that. There's no manual to when the parent passes away. It's brought about a lot of feelings, and feelings bring songs. So I definitely have that.
I've got a few that y'all may have. I've been trying to work on a Tom T. Hall style talking song. I still got a little bit of work to do on it, but I've got enough that I can show it to y'all. So we'll try it out.
Oh, cool! I love me new
John,
songs.
you got anything,
brother?
What? Yeah, well, one question that I kind of towards the end of all of these that I like to ask folks is, what for the aspiring artist out there who's trying to figure out what they want to do or how they want to go about this, what's a piece of advice that you'd give those folks?
Okay, I can start. The best piece of advice would be start coming up with a second income stream as early on in your life as you can. And it might sound funny, but man, if I would have spent more time thinking about this when I was in my teenage years, I think I would have been better prepared. And I know a lot of people out there right now that are working full-time jobs and doing the music thing, and they seem to have a pretty good balance. I would say the first thing you want to do is figure out how you're going to afford to be a musician, and whether that means trying to pursue what Muchacho and I are doing, which is trying to be working musicians like Eley, or do you just want to have one performance every week, one performance every month, and practice and play songwriter nights with your friends, because it's hard to explain to people that you cannot make a living on music. It's almost impossible. So, I mean, the number one thing I would tell people is, determine what you want with music, and whether it's going to be, you're obsessed with it to the point that you can't not do it, or whether you can do it on the weekends or not. You know what I mean?
Makes a lot of sense. How about you, Muchacho?
Muchacho?
I have I think that's what Andrew and I are like yin and yang, I have this, I'm almost like Mr. Magoo about it, where it's I just go and I should be falling into a pit, but somehow, a crane with a beam comes over and I just step over it. I'm okay. So what I would tell people is just to learn tunes. A big part of this, at least for me, is preserving what a song even is, and not to get all heady about it, but for me, it's like a tradition from especially folk music of the Americas, right? Because that's what we like. We like country, we like blues, we like mariachi, ranchera, all of that, is, or even if you go up to even Appalachia, they're all over this continent we're at is what I'm talking about. Once we became a melting pot. And for me, it's a sacred thing, because I'm literally the product of that. I'm Spaniard Aztec, right? I'm the creation of Europe and natives being one thing. And so for me, it's learn a bunch of tunes that call to you, and then you'll learn the form, the form of what it is to even be a song, the form to what it is to even, put these words together into something that can maybe move you. And so, yeah, that's all I've done my whole life is learn songs. And then by the time I could actually, pick up the guitar and sing and play at the same time, all of it just came pouring out because it's already kind of in there, That's what I would say is that learn tunes. And then once you're writing your tunes, all of them just kind of come together as one tune, Yeah, and just keep doing it, income stream or not. I feel like if you're called to do it, keep doing it. You know, there's nothing really other than being a father and a husband and trying to provide. I don't think there's anything else I've been as interested in as music. So to me, it's like this like sacred tradition that I have to uphold. You know, have any of y'all ever read The Giver? I always ask this, but have you any of y'all ever read The Giver?
A long time ago.
Yeah, it's like a book about this like kind of dystopian society, and they have this like one person that has the burden of remembering good or bad all the things that led up to that moment in society. And I feel like that's what we do, for better or worse, or the bug bit us and we have this almost burden, but like a positive one. As I get older, I'm thinking these things that I used to think are burdens, or like, why me? Why couldn't I just be an engineer or something? Like, I see it like it's a good thing now. We all have our burden to carry, and for better or worse, this one's ours, to be troubadours and songwriters or whatever.
I like it. I like the way that comes together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to touch on one thing that Andrew said earlier about the finding the secondary income. So if I don't have any regrets with what I did. I mean, I went to college to be a band director, and I interned for 1 year while I was working on my master's, and I just realized then that it consumed so much of my time that there was no way I could work on my own music. And so if my kids were to be really interested in the arts, whether it be music, painting, sculpture, whatever it might be, I think my advice to them would be get a trade, learn how to weld, learn how to, be a plumber or something, because, I've got friends that are musicians that are, plumbers, and they make their own schedule because they're their own boss on their day job and their, music. They book their own gigs, they book their own plumbing jobs or welding jobs or whatever, and I just feel like it's more, you've got to find a job that's flexible, and I've been fortunate enough. The downside of the day job, just giving my piece of advice, the downside, because I've been very fortunate with John's been crazy enough to hire me to help him make whiskey and beer. But the only downside to having a day job, even if it's flexible, is I catch myself being lazy with the booking, because used to, it didn't matter if it was a family thing or whatever. I had to be playing every day and every weekend. And now that I have a day job, every now and then I'm like, okay, well, I can take that Saturday off. I'll go to the family birthday party or whatever, And so you got to be careful and be like, yeah, you have this backup, but you still need to continue to, focus on what you're really supposed to be doing, So I got to remind myself of that. But that's my little piece of advice.
Guys, thank y'all very much for being here today. Appreciate the
Thanks,
conversation.
John. Thanks, Andrew.
And looking
Muchacho.
forward to seeing y'all Thursday and at the Songwriter Roundup here at Wilson Valley Mercantile.
Looking forward to it. Appreciate
wait,
the
John.
opportunity and your
See y'all there.
time.